Hello, and welcome to the Fiery Depths. God damn it, where's my goddamn shirt again? Motherfucker. Hello, and welcome to the Fiery Depths of Hell. It's your boy, Dmeraki, living it, and today we are doing scary interviews. So scary, so spooky, so scary, so I don't know what these noises are, but there's something. Anyway, today we are doing scary interviews, and we are doing Friday the 13th, part 6. Yes, part 6. Jason lives. And so does Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis is back again. So part 6, many know in this franchise that it's like one of the best Friday the 13ths. One of the best Friday the 13ths. I'll say it one more time. One of the best Friday the 13ths. Because the director, McLaughlin, freaking killed it, man. Killed it. This is a great movie, great cinematography, great kills, and, unlike the other Friday the 13th, which were mainly for the kills, we got good scripting, which means we got good acting. And we also have a not so demented Tommy Jarvis, unlike, part 5, where he's all dark gloom and he's barely even there. He's here for this. He's here for this. And we love Tommy Jarvis. So, thank goodness. And Jason is no longer just a shadow man. He is up front. We are seeing Jason so much in this movie. And love it. It is beautiful. And that's all I gotta say about this. That's all I gotta say. This is a great movie. And we're just gonna jump right into it. The movie starts off with Tommy Jarvis driving down to the cemetery, going to take care of business, and he brought his friend. Haas, Tommy Jarvis's friend, has come along for the ride, and Haas's heart can't take it. Can't take it. He's too nervous. But Tommy Jarvis is very focused on making sure that Jason is actually dead. Digs up Jason's grave, grabs a metal post or whatever the hell, sharp as hell at the end, starts stabbing Jason's dead body, bringing down the work, throws the mask down on his body. He's like, yeah, you're done for. I know you're dead. I just needed to get my few more die out. Sadly, in the middle of leaving the grave, freaking thunder strikes down onto that metal sign, and Jason is back, alive and well. Tommy Jarvis doesn't know this though, so he goes down to try to take the sign off. He just got to put on his gloves, try to take the sign out, and does. He tries to climb out the grave, but Jason's like, guess what? You just brought me back to life, buddy. Thank you. So let me just drag you down over here. Come down. Tommy Jarvis is freaking out. He's like, oh my god, what the hell? What the fuck? What the shit? He gets out. He escapes. But Jason just stands up. Starts raining. He's gotta wash off all the dirt and the maggots, even though they're constantly there in him and on him. Gotta make himself look pretty, beautiful. Tommy has the brightest idea. You know what? Pour gasoline all over him. Try to get the matches started. But wait, it's raining. You can't get the matches started, can you? Well, Hawes has a better idea. Hawes is like, okay, take the shovel, swing it at Jason's head. The shovel breaks. This is not good for Hawes. Jason turns around, looks at Hawes, and is like, you know what? I've watched Mortal Kombat way too many times. I'm about to do a Kano. Freaking punches his hand right through the chest, grabs Hawes' heart, and then Hawes just falls into the grave. Fatality. Soon as Tommy is like, okay, I'm gonna piece the fuck out of here, Jason's like, alright, well, I gotta get my mask. Hold on a second, let me just put that on, turn over, camera zoom in on my eye, and let's get that 007 intro ready to go. Slash title card. And it is beautiful. After the title sequence happens, Tommy runs down to the sheriff's office. He's gotta tell something, but Tommy scares Sheriff Garris. And Garris almost shot him. He's like, what the hell are you doing? Tommy's like, Jason's alive. You gotta listen to me. Garris is like, I ain't taking your shit, boy. I will shoot you on the goddamn fucking spot. Tommy then makes the mistake of telling Sheriff Garris his name, and Sheriff Garris is like, oh yeah, you're one of the loonies from the loony bin. Huh. I don't believe you. So Tommy's like, I gotta stop him. Goes to grab one of the freaking shotguns or rifles on the wall. Where I'm assuming it's a shotgun because of the end. He goes to grab one of the shotguns off the wall. Garris is like, what the hell are you doing, boy? Freaking throws him inside of the cell. And is like, are you fucking crazy? Folks don't want to hear about no Jason. There's a reason why we were named this town. You want to know what the town name is? It is Forest Green. And the camp that this is going to be set at is Camp Forest Green, which is really just a renamed Crystal Lake. We then cut to two counselors coming down. We got Darren and Lisbeth. And while they're driving down, Lisbeth sees Jason just standing there in the middle of the road. She's like, I've seen enough horror movies to know that we need to get the fuck up out of here. Starts driving backwards. Darren's like, hold on. We're gonna drive into this goddamn mud puddle, and our car's not gonna be able to get out. Elizabeth is like, I would rather take the chance of getting the fuck out of here and possibly getting stuck and just getting further away from this goddamn psychopath. Darren's like, just scare him. You know, drive the car forward and scare him. Elizabeth is like, this is a dumbass idea. She's so right. She's so right. You seen enough horror movies? You know you don't fuck with the guy that's just standing still in the middle of the road with a goddamn mask on. Don't mess with him. Elizabeth, out of what word do I say here? Mediocrity, because it wasn't really her that was being mediocre. It was the boyfriend Darren. Whatever. Elizabeth, out of sheer mediocrity, goes driving forward. Just stops an inch away from Jason. And Jason's like, okay. Drive the goddamn spear through the tire. Darren's like, alright, you know what? Let me get gun from glove compartment. Elizabeth, what the fuck? Where did you get that? What the hell? Darren's like, don't worry about it. Go out the car. You better fucking move. Shoots Jason, and Jason immediately is like, spear. Flings his body away. Elizabeth is like, okay, I gotta get out of the car, and does the most cliche horror thing you think for somebody who watches horror, that she wouldn't do this, but she does. She falls into the mud puddle, stays in the mud puddles, like, I got money, you could take it. And then Jason disappears. She's like, what? What? And then Jason just peers behind her head, stabs the spear down into her head, and her head goes into the mud puddle. Beautiful. Sadly for the actor who was playing Elizabeth, she almost died twice. Once when that spear hit the window of the car and almost actually stabbed her, and second when the diving respirator she was using to hold her breath underneath the mud water got clogged with mud and it started seeping down her throat, so she had to actually hold her breath. Next morning comes, all the counselors from Forest Green are like, hey, Darren and Elizabeth, they're missing, Sheriff Garris, so we don't know where they are. Tommy's like, I bet I know what happened to them. A little Jason Voorhees. Sheriff Garris's daughter is like, oh, who are you, sexy? All horned up for Tommy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Tommy's actor is pretty fucking hot in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Dmeraki is panned. Everybody's hot. They all head back to the camp, and Megan's like, yeah, maybe Tommy's right, you know? Maybe Jason is real. Maybe the legend that our parents told us wasn't real is real. Anybody getting something familiar about this? The little four-clawed guy, you know, was a legend, turned out to be real. It's just me. It's probably just me. It's probably just me. Excuse me. But all of that gets interrupted when the bus arrives full of kids to get dropped off, and the lady inside the bus is like, they're now your problem. What a sign of foreshadowing. We then cut to a bunch of randos. They're on a little executive trip. They're doing paintball. And we all love paintball. We all love to give people welts in paintball. It's very fun to shoot people in paintball. I love shooting people in paintball. I really want to play paintball again. Can you not tell? Stan and Larry are out looking for people to paintball. And Larry's talking to Stan. Larry's like, I don't like who you become when you're out paintballing, Stan. Maybe they got a thing. Meanwhile, there's another guy named Bert who's mad that he got paintballed by a girl. He's like, women shouldn't even be doing things like this. This isn't a game. This is life. But I think Jason very much disagrees with him, because Jason comes down, sees that he's using a machete. He's like, ooh, I want it. Jason grabs Bert's arm, freaking flings him to a tree, and Bert crashes face first into a little branch. And as soon as his head goes to the side, you see Happy Tree. You know, I think they were referencing Wilson in that. Wilson! Bert's also missing an arm now, because when Jason yanked him, he yanked the arm off with the machete. Katie, the girl who paintballed Bert, you know, Bert, the guy who wasn't so happy, Katie paintballs Stan and Larry now. And while they're walking around, they're like, you haven't gotten Roy yet? Who's gotten Roy? Katie's like, I mean, you know Roy, he's probably out there lost somewhere, or if he didn't paintball himself. They're all talking about this. Roy is having fun, you know. He lost his gun. He finds it, and he goes off running again. You know, this little cartoon character. So Katie, Stan, and Larry are out walking. Katie's like, I hear a noise. Do you guys not hear a noise? Stan and Larry are like, no. So Katie's like, shut up. I hear something. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jason! He's got a machete and triple head fucking kill. Knocks all their head offs with the goddamn machete. Roy sees this is like, oh, people shot. He's gonna kill me! Help! Oh, he's gonna kill me! We cut to Sheriff Garrus and his deputy trying to get Tommy out of town, but Tommy's like, I gotta make a quick little detour to the graveyard and show y'all what the fuck I'm talking about. As soon as they catch up to Tommy and tackle him to the ground, Tommy's like, you gotta believe me. Look at the grave. Sheriff Garrus is like, huh, really? He must have, pulled the dirt right over as soon as he got back into the grave. Tommy's like, what? That wasn't there before. Martin, the gravedigger, is curious, like, what the hell's going on? Tommy's like, you covered the grave, didn't you? You gotta take it back up. His body isn't in the grave. Martin's like, take the grave back up? You think I am a fool? And look, Martin's just trying not to lose his job, but he's also an old drunk. Gotta love the old drunks. And the funny part about this is Martin's like, what do you think I am? A fart head? And we cut immediately to kids saying, yeah! Even more funny is when Martin that night is drinking. He's like, baby, you're gonna be the death of me. Tries to throw the bottle away, but Jason catches it. Martin turns around. He's like, I didn't hear a noise. What the fuck? And Jason just crushes the bottle and stabs him in the throat with the broken bottle. It's gonna be the death of you. In the middle of this, two couples outside, a couple outside in the woods. Stephen and Annette hear this. Stephen comes and stumbles upon what was happening. He's like, Annette, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. We gotta get to the sheriff's office. They get on the motorcycle. Jason just walks up and stabs them with the machete right through Stephen and straight into Annette. Double kill. Since all the children are asleep now, Court sneaks away with his girlfriend, Nikki, and they're out banging. And surprisingly, there's no nudity. As the only Friday the 13th movie, you'll find no nudity inside. Nikki borrowed an RV from her stepfather, and if anything happens to that RV, Nikki's stepfather will kill her. Bzz! There goes the electricity. Oh shit, the plug has been cut. Nikki tells Court to go outside, go search for what's happening. Court's like, I'm going. Court, I'm going. Court finds the plug, is like, yeah, we gotta get the heck up out of here unless we want to end up like this plug. Get inside. Court doesn't know how to start the van. And he's like, oh shit, well, it's dead. And Nikki's like, no. Turns the van on. Court's like, okay, time to get this baby going. Nikki's not even strapped in, so she's falling everywhere as he's reversing, turning, going forward. Court, let me drive the van. And Nick, RV. Court's like, no, I want to drive it. I'm rocking over here. Nikki starts walking up, but out from the bathroom comes Jason. Jason's like, hey, you want to come join me since you're just getting some sloppy? Now I can have some second head? Yeah? So Jason's out strangling her, doing his thing, while Court's still rocking out on the RV up front. And then Jason's like, okay, I'm tired of this, Nikki. Slams her head on the wall, makes a whole dent of Nikki's face. And Court's still rocking, still doing his thing. He's like, hey, you need me to come back there? You need some company? Jason's like, I need some company. I got you. Takes a knife and slams it through Court's head while he's driving. And then the RV does a little flip 180, lands, there's a little explosion, and Jason just comes out on top of the RV, is like, yeah, I just did that shit. Now Sheriff Garris is out looking around in the town, and a bunch of deputies have found parts of Roy. And Roy is just fully dismembered. There's a leg here, there's an arm there, his glasses are covered in blood. No idea what happened to him. All we can assume is that Roy was ripped to shreds. Poor cartoon character. Garris is like, that Tommy kid really wants us to believe his story. But how? He was with you like the whole entire time, and then you drove him out of town. Garris. Oh. After Garris says he sure wants us to believe his story, Rick, his deputy, is like, well, they sure picked the right day to freaking do it. Happy Friday the 13th. Jason's like, you know what? I'm tired of wandering around. I gotta get back home to Camp Crystal Lake. Oh, I'm sorry, Camp Forest Green. Which is bad news for the two counselors there. Sissy thinks that Court is playing a prank on her. Sissy's like, let me see here. Gets close to the window, and Jason pulls her out and turns her head 180 degrees. That's neck snap of the century, my man. Jason just casually, after killing Sissy, walks in the middle of the campers, and this little girl, Nancy, who has been terrified all night because she keeps seeing Jason, is now seeing Jason right in front of her, and is like, dear God, please get this motherfucker away from me. He is so fucking creepy and so ugly looking. I need this guy to go away. Police show up, and Jason disappears. Paula, now returning to the cabin, the second counselor, is like, okay, is Sissy back yet? No. And then Jason opens the door, is like, I'm back! Paula screams and gets murdered out of sight, but we see the blood hit the windows, and afterwards, when Megan comes back with Tommy, you can see that the cabin is all bloodied. Blood everywhere. Jason basically pulled a Roy on Paula. Tore her to goddamn shreds. Tommy gets a ride from Megan because Megan answered his phone call to the sheriff's office. Tommy's like, I need a bunch of things. I need a ride. We gotta take care of Jason. Megan's like, alright. So Megan, now picking up Tommy, they go get their stuff. And in the middle of driving, she passes a few police cars. And I was like, alright, you gotta duck. Tommy's like, nice vagina. I'll stay here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not to say it. They did the little screen cut too. A little relaxed. So he's like, yeah, I'll stay here. Freaking horny young adults, man. So she starts reversing, going real fast. This little cool ass drift. Keeps going forward, but then immediately runs into her father, and they are both fucked. And of course, Garris, being father of the year, points a gun directly at Megan's face. As soon as they take him back to the sheriff's office, Garris is like, what the hell do you think you are doing? Well, Jason is real. Have you tried calling the camp? They should have paid the phone bill, because I tried to call and I got nothing. no service, nothing. Now, I need my deputy to lock Tommy up and watch over my crazy daughter. There's a call. I wonder what it could be. Garrus gets a call about Court and Nikki's death. And Megan's like, well, there's your evidence and proof that Tommy couldn't have done it because he was with me the whole time. Garrus says, nope. Tommy, jail. Nikki, you stay here, you crazy bitch. Well, that's fine, because Tommy and Megan have a plan to trick Deputy Rick. And it involves those two making out, Megan and Tommy, and Rick getting pissed off, being like, you animal, what the fuck? Megan then grabs Rick's gun, points it at his head, has a little red laser on it, and Rick said this to Tommy before. Tommy says, you might want to do what she says, because wherever the red dot is, you bang. So Rick regrettably opens Tommy's jail cell, has to give Tommy the jail cell keys, and Tommy locks him inside. They go out to the car. Tommy's like, I thought your dad took away your car key. And Megan's like, I got an extra key. Dipshit. Who the fuck do you think I am? This ain't my fucking first rodeo, kid. Tommy's like, okay, well, you can't come with me. And Megan's like, go in the passenger seat. Get in the goddamn car. Tommy's like, fucking crazy ass bitch. Garrus and his group of cops arrive to Camp Forest Green, and Garrus goes into the cabin of the two counselors and sees blood everywhere. And the other two cops go wandering off to make sure everything's alright. First cop, Officer Thornton, gets a goddamn dart to the head. Headshot. The other cop, Officer Pepas, what a fucking name, gets scared by the child Nancy, who's like, Jason's coming! Ah! Jason pops out, does a little classic Jason move, which is crushing Papas's goddamn skull. Garrus then runs into Nancy and gets all the kids into the cabin and says, hide underneath your beds. Goes back out, runs into Jason, starts shooting him down with a shotgun. And it's very funny how it played out, because Jason goes down, sits there for like a minute, gets up, Officer Garrus shoots again. Jason rolls down, immediately gets up, shoot again, roll, get up, shoot again, roll, get up. And now Garrus is like, fuck, I'm out of bullets on my goddamn shotgun. I gotta take out my pistol now. Starts shooting at Jason with the pistol. And of course, that's just not gonna affect Jason, buddy. You can shoot him with the shotgun, and that'll affect him. Pistol, that's a wimp's weapon. After Garrus starts running in the woods, Tommy and Megan get there. Megan starts running looking for her dad after seeing the bloody cabin. Runs into Jason. Garrus is like, get away from my fucking daughter! Starts beating Jason up, tackles him to the ground, grabs a rock, freaking bashes Jason's skull. And Jason's like, okay, I've had enough of you. And folds Garrus on the ground. Ow. Tommy's getting ship prepared on a boat to take down Jason. Megan freaking runs to the cabin, which Jason bursted into. And he bursts out. And it's like, hey, Megan, were you going to come in here? Let me just give you a little head crush. But before he could finish that, Tommy's like, yo, bastard, you were looking for me, weren't you? Come the fuck over here, you fucking wimp. Jason chases Tommy into the lake. And Tommy is like, okay, I got this shit prepared. Pours gas around the water. And around his boat, trapping them both. Lights the gas on fire. Has a chain around a rock. And has made a little noose to put around Jason's neck. He's looking. He's watching. Watching for Jason. Seeing if he'll come out. Jason pops out of the water. And is like, hey, Tommy. Starts wrestling him. Tommy manages to get the chain around Jason's neck. But before Tommy could release the rock, Jason's like, body slam. Freaking breaks the boat in half. And starts drowning because the chain and the rock. But before that could happen, Tommy's in the water with him, so might as well have some fun. Grabs Tommy, starts pulling him down further and further by him, and tries crushing Tommy's head. Megan then comes in to save Tommy. And in the middle of that, Jason's like, I can drown you too, bitch! Starts grabbing her legs, and Megan's having a problem. There's a little ordeal over here, trying to save Tommy and dealing with Jason. So she goes up to the boat, and she's like, okay, let's see if I can get this goddamn boat to start. Starts pulling and yanking, hoping that it'll start. And it does, eventually. And she turns the board motor and turns it to start slashing at Jason's throat. And my God, there is so much blood coming out of that motor. Megan then takes Tommy out of the water, starts doing CPR. She did not follow any of the CPR rules, but you know what? Tommy somehow survives. He's like, oh, it's over now. It's over now. Do you think Jason's dead? Let me hear it. Is that a no? Is that a no? Hold on. That a no? Yeah, you're right. It's a no. It's a no. You know why? Because then you get the underwater shot of Jason and his eyes are moving. Yep, he lives. He is still alive. Still raring to go. Still beautiful and ready for another movie. This movie is one of the best Friday the 13th films ever. And this movie also gave a popular channel one of its names. You can hear the boy saying, I think we're dead meat. Yep, Dead Meat got his name from this movie. James A. Janisse. And James A. Janisse is also who inspired this specific subgenre on my channel. Because I was like, you know what? I also want to talk about horror movies, and I also want to review them. And I also like to talk about the kills too. So he's inspired this channel, and this movie gave James A. Janisse his YouTube channel name. This movie is awesome. It is perfection. I love the scripting. Characters actually had personality, which is always lovely in a movie. And sometimes, you know, you don't need it, especially when it's a slasher. The first 5 films of Friday the 13th are very indicative of this. Characters actually had personality. Cinematography was beautiful. The kills were gorgeous. There were not a lot of off-screen kills. There were just the two. Uh, blood, beautiful. Freaking maggot-covered Jason, gorgeous. We got so much Tommy Jarvis, and we all love Tommy Jarvis. Megan was a fucking kick-ass character too. Um, Garrus, albeit he is an asshole, he is a fantastic father who tried to protect his daughter at the end, but ultimately ended up dying because of it. And even though we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we had the 7 rando characters. They were fantastic. They were lovely. I fucking love Roy. Funny as shit. Um, this movie was awesome, and I honestly don't have anything bad to say about this movie. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Watch this goddamn movie. Watch it. Watch the Friday the 13th series. We're at a halfway point now in the series. So, next time I do scary reviews, it's not going to be Friday the 13th. We're going to take a little break and review something else. And then we'll be right back to Friday the 13th films and do the other 6. Sadly, we haven't gotten a Friday the 13th film in 15 years, but they said in 2024, maybe there'll be one in 3 years, or maybe there'll be a TV show called Crystal Lake. And I'm hoping to God that there is, because I need more Jason Voorhees. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow the social media down below. Hit that bell icon if you want to keep watching my content. Don't forget to check out my partners page where they do art. So if you want an artist for commission, there they are. And I'll see you later, creatures of the dark.